What's up, YouTube? It's Breezy B. What's cracking? We back with another video. We're back. I ain't gonna play with y'all this time. I ain't gonna play with y'all, so y'all gonna play with me. Today's video, you can see as a caption, it says my military experience slash story time. You know, I'm gonna go from point A to point Z. Literally, like I'm mad at myself because I did not record any of my journey, literally, like timeline type of thing. So I'm just gonna put it all together, story time, and we just gonna do it from that. But before we do that, I just want to welcome back whoever, you know, clicked on this video. If you've been to the channel, welcome back, Breezy Break gang. You already know I've been upset. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I know I've been slacking. Bear with me. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Breezy Bree. You feel me? And we just gonna get into this. Like let's go. A recruiter came in to our school. I went to Lawton Public Schools. You feel me? It's like a military town already. Fort Sill. I don't know if anyone heard of that. Little army town, army base. But the recruiter that came in our classroom and introduced himself was, I just know his name was Boats. He's in the Navy, and he, you know, he was just feeding us like, you know, this is why you should join. This, and that. Like, let me tell y'all, he was like point to point, answered all our questions. Like, you know, I got my whole crew. We excited. We're like, yeah, we about to join the freaking Navy. Like, we about to, let's get it. Let's go. Like, the Navy, that sounds hard. Like, he talking about his ship got blown up. He was like in an attack. Like, you know, it sounded like a movie. And we felt like, you know, we were like, yeah, we're gonna join the military and we're gonna join the Navy. So we went to this little thing, the school event. Like, they take us to go take the test. All my friends, we all took tests. A lot of us didn't do what we didn't do what we supposed to do. Yeah, I scored really bad. Honestly, to be honest with you, it was a distraction. Like, you know, you with your friends, y'all just sitting in these chairs, you're laughing at each other. Like, this is the paper, like, copy where you do the bubbles, whatever. And like, some of my friends, they did good, some of them didn't. I just know from that point, I didn't really know how to feel. I was just like, okay, like, you know, what's the score? Like, I didn't even know what score I was supposed to be for. I just know I'm gonna take tests and we're just gonna do that. Okay, that was in, you know, that was my senior year, first semester type stuff. No, it was my junior year, second semester. Okay, so I'm around 17 that time. Okay, so senior year comes, the military kind of like, you know, eased off my mind. It was like still my plan, but it was like back, because if anybody know me, I played soccer. So, you know, my really intentional goals was to go play. Like, the only reason I was gonna go to school is literally to play soccer. Like, I wanted a scholarship, but you know, y'all, I wasn't really like, I wasn't pushing myself how I should have been pushing myself, you know. And I had people push me, more of like telling me, like, you know, like, no one can stop you, like, you the only person can stop you. And like, I get that, but like, it's more than just a physical thing. It was a mental thing that I was trying to, at the time, I didn't know what was happening. I was just like, you know, whatever, I'm just trying to graduate now, like, whatever. Like, I ain't signed up to do my FAFSA. I didn't do none of my college things. Like, you know, like, I didn't have nobody in my ear just like pushing me to tell me that, you know. So I'm just like, cut it. Like, you know, I'm just gonna graduate. But I do got the military in mind, so I was like, I can always do that. That's my plan. That's my second plan. So yeah, like, I graduated, whatever. I graduated in May 18, 2018. Okay, so with the whole Navy thing, like, I still had him my phone, like, Boats. Like, I still had him in there in the back of my mind, right? So but you know, I'm just like, you know, I kind of like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The only reason my first branch to choose was Navy, because the Navy recruiter came to us. You know, I knew deep down I was really an airman. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Like, I really, you know, but we ain't gonna get into that. Anyways, so I go to the Army recruiter. I'm just trying to get out of here, man. Like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, I didn't go to college. I didn't get the college thing. I just was like, So anyway, so I just like, I kind of was like, let me just take tests. So he was like, the podcast. You take the podcast and test. You could take this. I was like, all right, cool. Let me take the podcast. And you know, I go in the back room. I go in the back room, and they leave me to, I forgot her name, but we go in the back room, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, okay. And she give me a piece of paper and pencil. I was like, dang, like, I ain't gonna give me a calculator. Like, I need a calculator for the math part. And then you're like, no, you don't use a calculator. I was like, crazy. Okay. Anyways, you know, by the way, I'm not really bad at math. That really wasn't my like bad thing. Like, I could do math. You feel me? So, anyways, like I was just like, okay. So I took the test. The test took about what? It took about 50 minutes, an hour. I don't really remember. I just know I took it and I scored like I think I scored like a 36 or 39. I don't remember. Anyways, I know I took it and she's like, you passed. I was like, oh, cool. It's like, so what do I do next? And then she was just like telling me, like, first I filled out all this paperwork. Like, I filled it all out. Whoa, paperwork. I filled it all out, and then I was just like, okay. And then she was just like telling me, like, okay, I can, you know, go to MAPS. And I'm just like, okay, what's MAPS? And she was like, yeah, you stay in this hotel, you do this, you do that. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, you know, but then like for some reason, I went home that day and I was really just like chilling and thinking about life. Like, whoa, like, do I really want to join the army? And I'm just sitting there. So I talked to my parents, I talked to my mom, I said parents and I'm naming mom and dad. Like, yeah, that's parents. Anyway, so yes, I talked to them and then, you know, they kind of was just like, you know, Brianna, like if that's what you want to do, you know, do it. But if you don't feel like you need to do it, you don't have to rush. Like, you feel me? You don't have to rush to really just go at it. Like, you know, you could just sit back. Like, you just graduated. Like, you know, and, you know, the recruiter was talking about, like, yeah, you can leave in a week or 2 weeks. And, you know, it sounded good at the moment. Because I was just like, but honestly, I thought to myself, I'm like, what am I in a rush for? Like, I have a good life, you know? I just graduated. Some bad things happened, but, you know, like, later on down the line. But it's just like, you know, I graduated, like, what am I in a rush for? Like, I'm about to live it up. Like, I'm 18. Like, you know, I've been waiting forever to be 18. Like, I'm like, so I'm thinking, you know, like, so the next day she called me. Because I think I was supposed to go to MEPS the next week. But she was just, like, calling me. Like, I think it was a couple days. And, like, you know, you kind of scared to tell your recruiter, like, no, I don't want to go no more. You know, you dodging them. Like, you dodging them. Like, you just, like, no, don't. We're not about to do this. Like, we not about to. So, like, I was just kind of dodging her. And I don't know why, because I'm not the type of person, you know, I'm more like, okay, I don't want to do it. Like, you don't feel me? So it's just like, I was really dodging her. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. Anyways, don't ask me that. Anyway, so, like, she, like, blowing me up, you know. Like, you're going to miss the bus. You're going to, like, because we're going to skip forward. Like, I didn't call her, text her. My bad. I'm sorry if you ever see this video. I wasn't trying to be like that. Anyways, I was just young-minded. I didn't know what I was doing. Anyways, so I was just, like, she was blowing me up. She's like, your MAPS, like, you got to come. Like, you already took the test. All you got to do is go to MAPS, take this other test, and then you're good. I'm just like, man, like, instead of just me, like, you know, just tell her, like, you know, this ain't it. Like, this ain't it. You feel me? So, I just dodged her. I was like, whatever. You know, I'm just going to spend my, like, this is around the time where it's like the end of May. It's literally the end of May. Like, she wanted me to go at the end of May. So anyway, so like, you know, all my other friends are like going out, spreading out, going to military. Trust me, I'm not following my friends. I'm doing this because of me and how I felt. So, you know, I see some of my friends, you know, they kind of like venture out. Some kind of like going. Anyways, but you know, I'm like, I'm about to turn up. Like, something about to come, whatever. Like, I don't really, you know, y'all, feel me, like, hear me out. Ages 18 to like 22, you're kind of like in this mindset, like you have no time. Like, you feel like, if I don't do this, if I don't do this, like, by the time I get this age, like I don't want to be at this age, be like, dang, I should have did this when I was younger. That's kind of what my mind was going through. Like, I'm like, yeah, I want to have fun, but yeah, I also want to get my stuff done. Like, I want to be like, you know, in a good spot, you feel me? Like, I don't want to waste time. Like, I don't want to be like 30, like, oh, I should have went when, and, you know, you get a lot of people that hear, and you don't want to hear that. You don't want to, like, no, I'm going to be successful, so I'm going to get my stuff done. But it's just like, you got this mind, you're just like, I want to go have fun. Let me have fun. I'll think about that later. I'll think about all later, okay? Let me just go do me. Let me go do me. Anyways, so I'm just like, you know what, whatever. So I did do me, okay? So I was going out. I was having a blast. I was going to parties. I was turning up. You feel me? Turning up. Like, you know, parties back to parties back to parties. I was still working. I was working at like, what was I working? I was working at Taco Bell. Not Taco Bell, Taco Bueno. And like, I was just like, you know, I'm making my little $8. You feel me? Like, you know, the only bill I got is a phone bill. You feel me? Like, I'm just like, I just want to turn up. So I'm like, I'm turning with my friends, and I'm realizing it's coming August. It's just like school. Dang, like this is my first year, like first semester out of school. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to freaking, like this is my first year out of school. Like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Like, I never been not to school. Like, I've been to school like all my life. Like, literally, like this is my first time. Like, you know, like I said, I didn't go to college. I'm just like, you know, you see your friends going to college. You see some of them starting like a business, and you know, you're just like, dang, like what am I doing? Like, you know, you feel me? So it's just like, but then again, you know, I'm one of those people, I don't look off other people and be like, dang, like they doing good. So like, how do I explain it? Like, I don't just feed off of like, oh, they're doing good, so that means I gotta do, you know, like me personally, I feel like, you know, I should be somewhere more, like I have more potential to do something more than what life is giving me. So like, if you give me something, I could take it and just keep it and be okay with that, like, you know, very minimum, or I can reach for the high. And me personally, I like reaching for the high. So I'm a little bougie. I'm not bougie, but you feel me? Like, I want more for myself. So I was just like, you know, no one's going to live this life like you're living this life. No one can't live it for you. So you got to do what you want to do. So I was just like, okay, well, you know, I'm just gonna work. Like, I still got time. You feel me? I'm 18. So I'm working. I work at this place called Goodwill. It's actually a good store. I went from Taco Bueno to the $8. I think it was $8.50. Well, $8.50 to $10. I was like, okay, you know, step at a time. Like, I'm gonna get there. $10. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm 18. Like, okay. Anyways, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna work. Okay, let me tell y'all. It was a 7 to 7. It was 7 to 7 for me. Okay, it was 7 p.m. You can have the night shift or the morning shift, but it switches out anyways. So I'm going 7 p.m., 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 7. You know, at that point, I'm just like, this is for the birds. It ain't for me, dog. And don't get me wrong, like, I was pushing. You talking, because I get paid every week. So you talking, you get 40 hours. No, you get 48 hours a week. But I remember one week, bro, I literally got like 96 hours in 1 week, and my paycheck was like $1,200-$1,300. But like, I just noticed to myself, like, this is not the lifestyle that I picture myself. Like, I don't want to be breaking my neck. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not down to nobody like that. Go out there and do them, you know, feel me? Like, get it how you get it. But me personally, I was just like, you know, that's not it. Like, that's not me. Like, I feel like it's not me. So I was just like, okay, cool. Like, but I was traveling. Like, I went to Hawaii. I was, like, you know, I was saving my money, spending my money, saving my money. But it's just like I was working more than what, you know, it just didn't sit right with me. So then, you know, it's the next year. It's 2019. I'm like, okay. And it hits like, I'm gonna take this test again. But like, I don't want to go to the Army. You know, because you get more information. You get more information from other people because you start seeing other people. You know, I was one of those people like looking up like, oh, let me look at their military. Let me look at what branch should I join? You know, I'm steady asking people, but you know, everybody has their different ways. And like, the more you, like, now I know, like, you really can't know something till you do it. But it's like, you got to make the best of it. So like, if you go in with a positive mindset, like, you probably have more positive, like, honestly. So like, I really was just like trying to find a way. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I want to know all, like, I'm not gonna get all the answers, but I want to know most of the answers so it can make my mind up. Because people that know me, I'm very indecisive. Like, you can't just like tell me something and I'm gonna be thinking. Like, thinkers, oh my God, like, I'm just gonna keep thinking about it because I'm just like, I don't know the answer. Like, I I want to know the answer. Like, give me the straight answer, but everybody can't give you the straight answer. You feel me? So I'm more like, okay, well, whatever. So I'm, like I said, I'm working, I'm doing this, whatever. But I actually get a better job. It's called Circle, and it's like a call center for insurance. Okay. And you know, your girl come from $10 to $12.34. I was like, it's lit. Like, I'm getting paid the big bucks at 19, you know, $12.34. Anyway, I'm like, you know, like, this is good for me. This is, okay, I'm in a good spot. But then it still wasn't enough for me because I just didn't want to sit in the office. Like, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I met like probably like the best people at Circle. Like you talking like the best, like some good at, excuse me. You mean like some good people. Like literally, like I literally would sit there and like, I'm like, what, 18, 19? No, I'm 19 when I got this job. And like, you have like 28-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 25, you got 24-year-olds. You got people who graduate college and they come here. And it's just like, me in my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm like, you know, I'm not doing so bad because, you know, not to bash anyone, like I said, not to bash anyone, whatever they grind, how they got there, whatever, cool. But it's just like, they made me feel like that, you know, they be like, oh, you're so young, like, and you have a job here and you're working right next to me, you know. They making me feel like, okay, I'm doing something because it's like, they're this age or they're at this with their life, and it's like, they didn't went to college, but they're here making the same pay as me. So that, it did kind of boost me a little bit because it's like, okay, I'm not that bad how I think I am, you know? Like, I'm young, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. And then I was just, like, thinking, but, like, I could still want more for myself. Like, you feel me? Like, this is not for me to settle. Like, yeah, like, it sound good. Like, okay, I'm 19, I'm making this money, and you're this age. But, like, that just wasn't settled for me. Like, that didn't, like, make me, like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, I'm straight. No, it just made me, like, okay, I could do more because I don't want to be still this age and being like, oh, well, you know. And then, like, thinking around, like, say if I did stay in Circle for 5 more years, what, 19, 20, 21, 2. Right? Damn. 20, 21, 2. Anyways, 24 years old. And then it's someone coming in like 17, like, dang, you know, they're young. Like, I was that young person. I don't want to be like that. I wanted to be more than that, you know? So I'm just like, okay. So I'm just like, okay, I hit up a recruiter. I hit up Air Force. Let me tell y'all, Air Force recruiters do not be at their office. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if I was an Air Force recruiter, I'll be there. You tell me I'm there. You know, I'm gonna be there before you get there. But let me tell you, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I had a good recruiter. His name was Sergeant Wilson. I'm sorry if you ever see this video. Anyway, Sergeant Wilson. And like, coolest recruiter I have ever met. Like, he was so cool. I think he was from VA. I don't know. Anyway, so I went in office and I'm just like, okay, I tried, you know, I had the Navy tell me this, and, you know, I didn't really go on with that. I had the Army do this, and I didn't really feel it because, you know, whatever. I already messed that up with them. My reputation is bad over there. Can't go come back on like a Tuesday. I come back and I'm just like, okay. You know, he's like, pack your bags. This is what you pack. This is what you know, this all the things you pack. You don't, and this is what you don't pack. This is what you don't wear. So I'm just like, okay. And so I get there, you know, sign my paper, do all that. I'm sitting there. We go in there, we do all that. You get the name badges. You know, you get your name badges. They tell you what you're going for, what branch, all that stuff. Okay, cool. So we go in the test room. Yo, I take the test. I'm thinking, like, because this test is easy. Like, I'm like, I just graduated. Like, this test is going to be easy. Like, I'm doing good. Like, boom, boom. I'm, like, cutting through the answers. Like, I'm just, cutting through the question. I'm just, like, I'm done. So I get done in, like, 30, 35 minutes, probably so. Something like that. You know, they hand you, you get up, you tell them, they hand you this envelope. I think they hand me an envelope. So, anyways, I get the envelope. I walk out, you know, it's this little sitting room where everybody sits, and they, like, I guess look at their score. You know, you sit there, and I'm just looking, and I just sit there, and I'm like, my heart is like, you know, whatever. Boom. I open it. Let me tell y'all. Woo, your girl. Ooh. It was a bad time. Yeah, so my first score was literally, I think it was, I don't know. It was a 28. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm like devastated. I'm like, wow, like really? Like I really tried on that test. Like, really? Like, you don't give me 28? I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, okay, cool. And, you know, I'm looking at everybody else. Like, it was a sad moment. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, oh my God, like, I can feel the feeling right now. Like, literally, I'm sitting there in the chair, like, devastated. Like, And then, like, you get your phone, because you can turn your phone on, and my recruiter's like, let me know when you're done with your test. And, like, you see everybody else like, God, I got 85. Oh, my gosh, I got 100. Like, I'm just like, you could have gave me some of your points. Like, like, I would have been able to pass. And then, like, I'm just like, oh, my God. So, like, I'm like, I don't even know what I do. Like, what do you do after this? So, like, I get my phone, take a picture, and then, you know, my recruiter's like, you didn't pass. And I'm just like, I'm just reading text, like, duh. Like, sir, I know that. Like, you ain't had to say that. Like, I know. It was sad. I was on sad mode, for real. And I'm just getting the bus, and everyone's like, whoa, what's your score? What you make? Oh, what you? And I'm just like, I scored a 28. And it's like, oh, it's, you know, and shout out to them, because they wasn't like, you know, they were really like, oh, you know, you'll get it next time. Like, don't worry about it. Like, just keep, like, you know, do what you, like, you know, they're being encouraging. I'm just like, yeah, you know, like, there's like, it's not the end. Like, you know, you could take it again. I'm just like, yeah, I can take it again. Next morning, the next day, whatever, after everybody's done doing their process and whatever you do, I went on the bus ride back home, you know, whatever. Okay, cool. And I just had to rethink about my life. I had to recalculate, like, really, I just really failed this test. Okay. So then I'm just like, okay. And then I go to my recruiter. He's like, yeah, just take it. You could take it. So, y'all, this is how it works. So, like, you could take the test 3 times back to back. As in, like, not back to back, but like a month. So, you take it first time, you get another chance, but you take it the next month. And then you take it the next one. And then after that, you wait 6 months, and then you can take it. And then if you feel that you take it, you gotta wait a year. You know, go like that. I think when I was going through it. That's how that test seems so easy. Like, I don't even know why. And then in my strategy, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe if I score higher on my math, then maybe that might outweigh the reading. Because let me tell y'all, my struggle was reading. It was the word knowledge. I don't know if it was paragraphic comprehension. I feel like it wasn't, because, like, I can read. You know, I understand the objective. But whatever. And I'm just like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Whatever. You're going to take this test next month, and you're going to get it. Boom. Next test come, you know, my recruiter pumped me up. He's like, you ready? You ready? Like, you got this. You got this. Like, don't stress about it. Don't think about it. I'm just like, I'm not, sir. I'm not. Like, I got this. Like, I was like, I'm going to pass. He's like, yeah, you're going to pass. Like, don't. You know, I'm just like, okay. And you're not going to lie. Like, you feel that on the outside, and inside you're kind of like, damn. Like, I got my envelope. This is the second time I took the ASVAB. And I'm sitting there. And the score says, I think it was a 30. And I'm just sitting there like, man, like, dang. Damn, I had to tell my recruiter again that I failed this test. Once again, everything played out like, you got people like, oh my, like, I scored 100. Like, that was totally easy. Like, you know, I'm just like, boy. Like, shut up. Like, I don't want to hear that you passed. Okay, we get it. You passed. But I'm just like, dang. Okay, cool. You know, like, I'm get back on the bus. And I'm just like, this time, I'm not staying in a hotel. Like, I'm not even going to waste the government funds like that. Like, I keep doing them in some type of way. So I call my cousin. Like, I'm like, come get me. Like, man, I'm not about to stay at night here. Like, come get me. Like, and then, like, the girl I went with, too, she failed, too. And, like, I felt sorry for her because she had, like, objective. Like, she was really trying to join and, like, get away, per se. Like, she really was trying to do more for her life. Like, she came from a little town, and we were just, like, talking because we both failed. And I'm just, like, telling her, you know, like, don't worry about it. Like, this is your first time, like, taking the test. Like, I was like, this is my second time. Like, it makes you feel better. Like, I failed again. Not to say make her feel better, but, like, you know, like you could again. And she was, like, really down on herself. I'm just, like, trying to uplift her. Like, you know, it's not the end of it. Like, you just study more and, you know, just take it again next month. Like, that's what I did. And she was like, yeah, you know. And then, like, I guess, like, I left that night, and I'm just telling, like, good luck. Like, you know, if I see you in the future, like, you know, like, you got it. Cool. Fast forward. I think I didn't go back my exact month that I was supposed to take tests. I think I waited a little bit more. Like, probably I would say, like, 10, 15 days after. Like, just study a little bit more. And, like, let me tell you, like, I bought the book. I bought the ASVAB for Dummies. Like, I was buying everything. I was searching up how to pass the test. I was searching up, like, little Quizlets. I was doing all that. I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Like, I'm going to pass this test this time. Like, no, I wouldn't say I put in 100%. I didn't put 100% on studying because, like, at the time, I didn't know my study technique. And I learned that I'm, like, future wise, like now, like I learned that I am a visual learner. Like I can't just learn based off of someone telling me or me like telling myself like this how you do it. I gotta actually do it. So I go back and I'm just like, okay. And he's looking at me, he's like, you ready? And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was just like, yeah. But like deep inside I was like, no, I wasn't ready. But it's just like, I have to be ready. Like this is it. Like if I don't pass this test, I gotta wait 6 months. And then, you know, in my world I was living in, I was just like I cannot be in Lawton, Oklahoma for another 6 months. Like I cannot. Like I'm trying to go. I'm thinking. And I remember my strategies. Like I said, I'm like, if I do really well in math. Like I'm telling y'all, like that, I had like 4 pieces of papers, like written with back and front math equations. Like I was getting it with the math. Like I was like, I'm gonna score really high in math so that I can outweigh the word knowledge. That's what I'm gonna do. Because word knowledge is only 8 questions. I'm thinking like, you know, I had 2 sections of math. Like if I do good 2 sections of math and don't do so good in word knowledge, but kind of like barely minimum make paragraph comprehension, like that should be a good score. That should be passing. Like, I don't know what. So, you know, I finished the test and I'm like, I feel a little better. I'm just like, you know, I really did good in math. Like, I just, you know, I'm not anything. I'm like, just hurry up and get my envelope. Like, I already know the process. Like, you don't have me, give me, like, don't, like, okay. And, you know, he's just looking at me and he's like, good luck or something he said. I don't know. So I go in that room and it's like the movies. It's like, oh, okay, this envelope. Like, what number is on this envelope? So I opened it. And let me tell y'all, let me tell y'all, I seen that number and I literally felt like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I felt like crying because I was just like, wow, like, everything just hits you at once. It's just like, damn, like, you can't pass the test, Bree? Like, really? You can't pass the test. And then other side is like, dang, like, a test is really stopping me from doing this. Like, I'm trying to join the United States Air Force. Like, why is this test stopping me? Like, I'm not gonna need this test, okay? Like, why is it stopping me? And I'm just like thinking, I'm just like, man, like, I can't. Like, I didn't even want to text my recruiter. I did not want to tell him. I just was like, I just want to leave. Like, wow, like, I don't know what to think. So I'm just like, whatever. Y'all don't mind the TV in the back. Anyway, or me, you feel me? Anyways, so like, I was just like, you know, whatever. So I go. And I do tell him, I was like, okay. But my test score literally was a 30. That's why I was like upset. Like it literally was a 30. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, cause you know, when you take the test, it don't tell you what you got wrong. You know, it's just different versions. So it's just like, you know, take them different versions. And it's just like, they don't tell you what you got wrong. They don't tell you what you got right. It's just like, you take the test, boom, there it is. So months passed. I ended up actually moving. I moved to Memphis with my dad for a little bit. Stayed there. I moved in like August of 2019. Stayed there literally all the way till the next January 2020. Yeah, January 2020. But I stayed there with him August all the way to January. And like during that time, I kind of found myself back with YouTube. This is actually when I actually started posting. I know it's gonna say I've been a member since 2018, but I actually started posting in 2019, like in September. It's like my first video. Cause it gave me room. I was put away from an environment where I felt like it wouldn't let me like, well, I'm not gonna say the environment wouldn't let me, more myself, like I said, holding me back. But it's like, you ever find yourself, you're in an environment where you just feel like you can't really do anything because you're in this environment. And it just gives you no hope of like feeling like, you know, like you could do something, like you could do more than this. But it's just like your environment, like it don't really offer that much more. Like, you have to move. Like, you ever felt like, you know, I know somebody feel me. I talked to Navy, you know, the atmosphere when I went in there wasn't really like what I expected to be. They were more like, well, you're here, like, you know, when the last time you take tests and this and that, like, you know. And it was like, well, if you scored a certain score, you know, we actually take people now. So, like, I scored a 30. And, like, they was doing, like, this, like, we'll send you to the Coast Guard because they're taking people who scored, like, you know, I think it was a 28, and you can start off with them and, you know, whatever. And, you know, they kind of, like, they didn't welcome me in a way that you want to be welcomed in. Like, okay, I'm here to be, you know, to join the Navy. Like, you're not really, like, giving me that, hey, welcome, you know, feel me? So I'm just like, they were kind of pushing me to the, you know, Coast Guard. And I'm just like, I don't even know what the Coast Guard is. Like, how you gonna push me to the Coast Guard? And then kind of find out, you know, it's part of the Army, I feel like. So I was like, I don't want to go to the Army, so I don't want to be part of the Coast Guard. So I was just kind of like, whatever. And I was just like, I went back in my car and I just sat there and I was just like, they really try to play me like that. Like try to play me like I just, hey, I'm your best freaking seaman, whatever you, I could have been your best freaking, like, I'm not trying to say soldier, but I keep saying soldier. I'm like, they trying to play me like I ain't that person just because I score low on my test. Like, come down, you know, my friend Jay, he hits me up. He's just like, Bree, like, just come to Texas. Like, you know, like, we come down here and do this. And I'm just like, that sounds good. Because in Memphis, like I said, I was just chilling. Like, I was with my dad, like, just chilling. Like, I enjoyed the time, like, for real. That's like my twin. And I enjoyed the time meeting my folks. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take pack everything up and go to Texas with my friend Jay. Like, whatever, like, cool. Like, I'm just gonna start over. Like, what else am I doing? So then I was just like, okay. So I get on the plane, bought my plane ticket, went to Houston, lived in College Station. That's actually where I'm here now. I'm actually live in College Station, Texas. It's a little town like Texas A&M, you know. I know it from, you know, Johnny Manziel or whatever. Like, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, this is short term. Like, I'm just gonna move here a little bit. If this doesn't work out, you know, I'm just gonna move to Atlanta. Move to Atlanta, Georgia with my auntie, and I'm just gonna go from there. I'm gonna start my YouTube and just go off, like, just stay there. 6 months been passed, all right, because we're in January. You know, January 2020, like, a whole bunch of stuff happened. So, like, fast forward, I met a recruiter, Air Force recruiter, actually, and I'm just like, man, this is really what I want to be. Like, I want to be in the Air Force. Like, why? Like, why can't I get in the Air Force? So I go to him, and he's just, like, telling me, like, okay, we'll do this and that. And then he was telling me all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay. He kind of was like, here and there. Like I said, Air Force recruiters do not be in office. When I tell you, you can call them, email them, call the person the numbers that's on the door, and when I tell you, like, they do not answer. I'm like, what is happening? And like, I'm in a case of mine, like, oh my God. So then, you know, my friend Jay, we go to the Army. Actually, we was planning, let me tell y'all. We went in the mall, and we literally sat down in chairs because the Navy door was locked, or we was waiting for a Navy recruiter. And it's crazy because we were sitting there, like, there's a Navy door, and then the Army door, and then the Air Force around the corner. But we sit in the middle, Navy door, and then Army. We sat down. We literally just sitting there, just talking, like, dang, like, yeah, we're just gonna do the Army stuff, just do the buddies plan, whatever, cool. So then it's just like, we go and do the buddy plan. Well, we had our mind on the buddy plan, and I'm just like, okay, like, I'm only gonna join the Army if I go with my friend. Like, I'm not about to join. Like, what else? Like, so then, no, what am I saying? Like, okay, we went to the mall to go talk to the Navy recruiter, but the Navy recruiter wasn't there yet. He said he gonna meet us at 11. It was like 11:20, and we just like, okay. So we sat down. Let me tell you, the Army came out. It was the Army recruiter. She came out. And let me tell you, her vibe was with it. Like, I loved her vibe. Like, she was with it. Like, she was loud, outgoing. Like, I like that. She's like, yeah, y'all don't want to join the Navy anyways. Like, come. She was like, come to the office. It's like, come. I'm just like, me and Jay, like, dang, like, you know, her vibe, like, you can't really say no to that. So I was like, man, all right. So we go in there, you know, they all looking at us like, yeah, like, don't go to the Navy. Like, what are y'all doing? And I'm just like, that's why they late now. And literally, when we got up and we were walking with the Army lady, the Navy dudes coming around the corner, like, about to unlock the door. And we just like, we supposed to turn back around? And I was like, nah, he was late. Like, let me go. So we go in there, sit down, we talking to her, like, she was like telling us, like, she's 92 Yankees, supply. Because when I first took my test, that's what I was going for. Like, if I would have went MEPS with the Army, I would have been 92 Yankee. That's supply, you know, feel me? I'm like, I'm with it. Like, I want to be supply. Because I was actually going to do supply in the Navy, too. But anyways, that's a long story. Anyway, so we sitting there, boom, boom. Like, they're telling us, like, y'all take the test, do this. Like, we're doing weight measures, we're doing all this. And there's, like, you know, asking us what jobs. See, I'm going to tell y'all more on, don't really tell a recruiter what job you want. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take that test, do your research, then you do. You know, you go from there. Don't tell them what you want. Unless, of course, you score like 100, and then it's like, okay, you get what you want. But anyway, so, you know, whatever, I'm telling them, like, I want 92 Yankee. And, you know, my friend was like, I want 92 Yankee. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, we want the buddy system. And they was like, okay, well, we got that. I'm like, okay, cool. So then, I go, they was like, okay, instead of y'all going to MEPS, y'all can go to this little, they say, y'all can go to this little thing. Y'all can go to this, it's like I don't freaking know. Like, it's where you take tests. Anyways, we went there. They scheduled it. Boom, boom. Okay. So, like, before this, y'all, let me tell you, I really was studying, like, putting the work. Like, I'm like, you know, I didn't feel like a big weight on my shoulder. Like, I was just like, you know, I got this. Like, you know, I'm telling myself, like, I got this. Like, I don't feel, like, down about anything. I'm like, I'm going to pass the test and I'm going to join the military. That's what's going to be. No ifs and buts. Like, that's what it is. Like, did our test for us. He was prior service. He was in Air Force, and he was just like, you know, telling his story. You know, they all get to tell their story, and I'm just looking at him like, yeah, like, it's crazy because the Air Force come back to my mind again. I'm just like, why am I taking the test for me? You know, like, but then I come realize, like, he was like, you know, this is just a test. Like, you know, you could go take this test to any other branch. You know that, right? And I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah. And I was like, yo, the scariest part, because I'm like, really, like, if I do not pass this test, I wait a year, and I promise you, like, I'm not joining the military in a year. Like, I'm not. Like, I have to do something else with my life. Like, I'm not joining the military because it's just, like, I just, like, really, like, it's crazy. The test is stopping me. So then I go, he gives me a thing. He's like, you want to see your score? Like, because I really felt like he knew that I wanted to go to Air Force, because that's why he was telling me all the information. Like he literally was, like, talking to me, telling me, like, you know, you don't have to. You know, shout out to him. Like, bro, like, he really was putting me on game. And he was like, I love the Air Force. Like, he was telling me everything. Like, he was just like, you could take the score and take it somewhere else. But, like I said, I don't know what my score was at the time. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, you know. So he's like, you want to see it? And I'm just like waiting there. Me and Jay's like looking at each other like, I'm like, Jay, like, I'm going to cry if I do not pass this test. Like, I'm going to cry. And he's just looking at me like, I'm like shaking. And, like, the man gave me a cat. He said, you want to see your score? And like, this man can play with me low key. He was like, you want to see your score? I'm like, yes. Like, just give me the paper. Like, come on. He gave me that score, my guy. I was so freaking happy. I looked at that paper. It said 48. I was like, okay. I have entered the status of the military. I'm going to the military, Mom. I'm going. So I was just like, let me fix the camera, y'all. Sorry. Anyways, I was like, I'm going. Oh my gosh. I was like screaming. I was so happy. Like, oh my gosh. I then turned a little red. I'm like, yeah. He's like I said, you know, you could take the score and you can go to another branch with it. He's like, it's just like a test. You don't have to go to the Army. And I'm just thinking like, And like, I just put it in my back of my head because I'm just like, okay, like, why does the man keep telling me this? So then, like, after that, so like, I go, the Army recruiter, whatever. He's like, whatever. He's telling like, oh, y'all passed, like, boo boo. I'm like, okay, cool. And then like, what happened? We go the next day, and it's like, okay, what do y'all want to do? So we're looking at the test scores. Like, since the fact that Jay scored a 31 and I scored a 48, it's kind of like I'll kind of get a better job than him, but like my GT wasn't really far from his. Like, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like, people know, y'all know. Like, people that's in the military, y'all already know. So maybe y'all can explain that. I can't really explain that. Whatever. Okay, so I'm just like, okay, like, I scored 48. That means he scored 31. I said, so what that mean? Like, I'm sitting there in the office like, okay, so, because we only doing this Army stuff if we gonna go together. Like, this was, like, you know, PB and jelly. Like, I'm not gonna do this if he can't go with me, you feel me? But they're like, well, your score is better, so you get a better job. You wouldn't want to go down to a job. Kind of like saying, like, you wouldn't want to go down to a job he gets. And I feel that, because it's like, yeah, like, this is, like, my guy, best friend. Like, like, dang. So you telling me, like, and then Jay's more like, oh, no, I just want to score. Like, you know what it is. Like, give me what they give me. And I'm just like, you know, just because you give me something, you tell me, like, oh, this is this and that. Like, I'm like one of those people, like, nah. It don't work like that with me. Like, I'm going to think about this because it's like, that don't sound right, you know? Like, 92 Yankee, but they were telling me, like, you know, 19 Yankees full right now. Like, so I was like, so what I'm going to do? And there's like 92 B or something like that. It's like something else. I can't remember. I'm just like, that's not what I really want. I was like, if me and him can't get 92 Yankee, I was like, the only reason I came to the Army office, to be real with you, like, I was trying to do buddy system. If I can't do buddy system with my best friend, I really can't, I can't fool with it. I told him what I want. It's just like, no, that's full. It's too many people. I'm just like, well, okay. And you know, to me, I'm like, I got 48. I can get any job that I want in the Army, okay? I can get any job I want. I don't have to settle for what you're talking about, sir. Like, no, cut it. Just cut it. So I'm just like telling him, like, no. Like, this, like, if we can't get the same job, sir, I don't want to be in it. So then, you know, they're trying to, like, figure out how they're going to do it. And it's just like, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not even going to waste your time. Y'all don't waste my time. I'm just going to take my score and go somewhere else.
You know what? No, I am going to leave.
They was mad at me. Let me tell y'all. Army was so mad at me. Like, they was mad. Like, they was mad. And in fact, I was kind of persuading Jay, like, don't settle for less. You feel me? I was kind of like, but he's more the person, he was trying to, like, just get, like, Jay was, like, trying to go. Like, he was trying to leave. Like, of course, like he said, he wanted to be with me, but he wasn't going to wait another month to take tests and do all this because he's like, I'm just taking my score and go with it. I passed, boom, boom. And I'm just like, me, I don't know. I can't do it. So then, like, Jay, fast forward, he ends up actually joining the military, but they cut a deal with him, actually, and gave him 92 Yankee after the fact that I told them I would join if they gave me 92 Yankee. See, if they played the cards right, we would have been 92 Yankee, we would have been in the Army, they would have had another member. You feel me? The best soldier they could have. But they didn't play the cards right. No, hey, cool. Anyways, so you know, he ends up joining, whatever, boom, he gets his dates and all that, boom. I'm still with my 48. I'm just like, so I'm just like I said, the Air Force wasn't in his office, but I knew, like, I still want to go there. So let me tell you, I go to the Navy, fast forward, I'm talking to them. They're real cool, like, they're real cool. I really, like, enjoy the personality of them. But down the lines, I was kind of like, you know, okay, like, if I can't go to the Air Force, I'm going to the Navy. But I never, in my mind, like, the whole point was to score high so that I can go to the Air Force. Like, a pass score to go to Air Force. I'm like, I have a pass score now. Why wouldn't I want to go to Air Force? Like, why am I trying to go somewhere else? So then, fast forward, I'm just, like, talking to a Navy guy. I'm just like, oh, cool. And it's just like, literally, I'm sitting in the office. Like, you see the Air Force guy pass. I'm just like, oh. There you go. So, like, in my head, I wanted to get up and walk out the door. Like, I'm not supposed to be here, sir. Like, I did not mean to come in this office and sit down and talk to you for 30 minutes. I'm trying to go to the Air Force. And I'm just like, so I, like, speed up the conversation. I'm just like, yes, sir. Like, you know, they give me all the information. I'm like, yes, sir. I get it. I run him. I'm like, I look at the Air Force. I was like, because I talked to him before. I'm like, his name was Sergeant Williams. I'm like, Sergeant Williams, where you been, man? I've been waiting for you. I got my score. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And he's like, okay, come in. We fill out this paperwork, boom, boom, this and that. He's like, what's your score? I gave him my sheet. He was like, okay, boom, this is the jobs you got, boom, boom, boom. I'm looking at all the jobs. I'm just like, ooh, I'm gonna be material management. Boom, that's my job. He's like, cool. So, y'all, I don't remember. Anyways, that's my job. I want a material manager. Y'all, don't ask me why I want material manager. Like I said, any branch I went to, I wanted to be supply. I'm not even gonna front like that, because I really didn't know much more about anything really but supply. And I'm just like, supply maybe is a good fit for me. Like, anywhere I go, I could be LRS or LS for Navy. I could be 92 Yankee, or I could be material management. Like, supply. So then he's just like, okay, that's what you qualify for. And I'm just like, okay, cool. You know, I got 40, I got 5. Anyways, so then he's like, okay, you ready to take tests? Boom, let me tell you. But during that time, like, the panoramic, whatever you want to call it, it was very high. That's when it all, like, crashed down, probably April. You know, we talking about, like, you got to stay inside. You get fined if you don't go to work, this and that. Like, it was crazy. Like, it really threw me off. It threw my recruiter off. It threw a lot of people off. And everything was so crazy. And I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Like, why these things keep happening? Like, it's something telling me not to join the military. Like, why? So then it's just like, okay, I couldn't get in contact with him. I steady calling him, boom, 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 this and that. So then push comes up, we're gonna keep going forward. So then after that, I'm trying to call him, and he was like, at this time, I lost my Social Security, and, like, I'm in Texas, so, you know, you have to go, like, order it from Oklahoma, and then I think I lost my birth certificate. It was crazy, y'all. Like, I lost like birth certificate, social security. I don't even know how. Like, I lost it. And I was supposed to go to MEPS. I was supposed to go to MEPS like Monday. And like literally he was just like, oh, like, you got your stuff? I'm just like, oh my God, like I don't have my birth certificate, I don't have my social. And I'm like, okay. And then he's just like, okay, like, you know. And this was right before, honestly, it was right before everything started getting crazy. So like I literally it took like probably 2 weeks for me to get my stuff back. And then I got my stuff back and I hit him up and he's just like, okay, you ready? And then he's just like, well, material management ain't available no more. You know, he's just telling me this stuff and I'm just like, what, sir? And I'm like, what? Like, what? So then I'm talking to him and he's just like, you have another job in mind. And then I was like, no, not really. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, we sat down in the office for like 2 hours just looking at, you know, jobs that I qualify for and jobs I would like. And I was like, the only one that sounded interesting to me was material management. And he's just like telling me like, okay, you know, this isn't cool. I was like, all right, cool. And he's just like, okay, well, you can go to MEPS this day. And I'm just like, okay. I went to MEPS. He was just like, you interested in security forces? And I'm just like, to be honest with you, I was interested in security forces. But that was like when I was 2018. I said, I did my research on that. I don't think I really want to do security forces. I was like, sir, I don't know. And then I was like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know. Like, it looked badass. Excuse my language. Like, it looked cool. Like, I was like, you know, like maybe it's not that bad. But like I said, I did my research. I don't just settle for what they tell me. You know, I kind of like, I gotta venture out and see what it's about. You feel me? Like, of course, I don't get all the answers, and I'm just like, okay. Like, I'm talking to people on YouTube, like should I join these security forces? Blah, 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 blah. Like, I got friends and people this and that, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, everybody got the different point of view. Like I said, everybody's like, it's how you make the best of it. I'm just like, okay, like, just tell me what it is and what it ain't, okay? I'm tired of y'all saying what to make the best of it. How am I gonna make the best of it if I don't really know deep, like, oh, wait, whatever, okay, cool. So, like, come push up. I was like, no, I don't really want to join the security forces. So then he hit me back. He was like, well, if you're not willing to join the security forces, like, basically telling me, like, you know, like, if you're not willing to do this and this and that, like, then whatever. Like, kind of like he hit me back with it's like 2 days right before MEPS. Like, I was supposed to go to MEPS. And he was just like, at first he was telling me, like, MEPS is closed for physical. And I call MEPS. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I call MEPS. I was like, are y'all closed for physical or like for Air Force? Like, y'all not open? And they was like, no. They was like, we are open. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're open Monday to Friday, Saturday, something like that. And they was just like, who told you? And like, my recruiter was like, well, your recruiter lied to you. I was like, wow. I was like, all right, cool. So I called my recruiter. I'm like, MEPS is open. I was like, why'd you tell me that? You know, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, y'all, I was really I felt like he was kind of like playing with me a little bit. Because then after that, like kind of like he was like went into more stuff, but I'm not gonna get into that detail. Kind of went downhill from that point. I just like, you know, I didn't feel the Air Force vibe and energy that I felt when I first was talking to him, and it's like it kind of went down. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on in your life, sir, but like literally all you gotta do is send me the MEPS. Like, I don't know why you like putting a hold on it. Like, I really don't know. I took tests. I picked the job that I could qualify for. I meet the requirements. I was like, I don't understand like why you just can't send me the MEPS. And then it's just like he called me back a day before MEPS, and he was just like, my supervisor said, you want to retake the test? And I'm just looking at him like, I mean, I'm just like, sir, why I gotta retake the test, sir? Like, we sat down in your office, we did this, and I got qualified for this job. Like, why I gotta retake the test? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why I have to retake the test? And in my mind, I'm like, I worked hard for that 48. Like, I'm like, I don't think I could do it again. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, and then it's just like, if you don't get that score and you get below that score, it's just like, I gotta wait a year. And it's like, I worked way too hard to like literally just retake a test that I struggled in. Like, I struggled in this. Like, I'm not about to retake this test, or like I can't. Like, is there something else you could do? Like, and then like I said, he has told me. I was like, I'll join security forces, like just to put my foot in the door so I can get in. Like, I'm just trying to join the Air Force. And he's like, you know, he did have a valid point, because he hit me with that. Well, when you first came to my office, he was like, you didn't join the Air Force. You didn't say you wanted to join the Air Force because you wanted to be material management, or you wanted to be this, and that. You said you wanted to join the Air Force. So the Air Force requires what the Air Force needs. And I'm like, I understand that, sir. Like, I'm not trying to downplay. Like, yes, like, I want to join the Air Force. Didn't really particularly mean what job I want to join. But then I realized, like, you know, like, but still, you sat in the office with me and you told me this and this and that. And, like, I qualify for material management. So why can't I do material management? Like, I don't And it was other jobs too. I'm just like, why can't I just, like, why are you pressuring me to do this security forces? And he's like, well, and then he was like, well, okay, I don't know. So he pushed me back. He's like, well, we're gonna get this Thursday. I was like, all right, cool. So it's Tuesday, and I'm just like, bro, I don't even know, like. So I'm like, I'm actually calling other people. Like, I'm calling people clean. I'm calling people. I'm like, it's like, where you at? I'm like, College Station. It's like, who's your recruiter? I'm like, I'm going back and forth telling them, like, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, well, okay, well, we only doing, like, we don't do walk-ins. You got to schedule appointments. I'm just like, okay, cool. And it's just like, I guess, they kind of, like, talk to each other. They probably knew each other. Bad idea, probably. My recruiter, he called me back probably, like 6 hours and was like, yeah, like, there's trust, boo, 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 telling me all this stuff. He's like, I can no longer work with you. Basically, like, telling me, like, it's like you have this Air Force and you're like, I'm almost there, and it's just like, it crashed down. I'm just like, wow. I'm just like, dang, like, and in other places not really taking people that's from different cities. I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Like, really, like, I wasted, like, 3 months with this man trying to get to the Air Force, and it's just like, everything is, like, down, bad. More of the story, I went further. I was like, yeah, like, future-wise, y'all, I'm not bashing him. I'm not doing nothing. I really intentionally feel like he stopped me from joining at that moment. And it's just like, it kind of like pushed me back a little bit. And it's just like, I just know, like, I was thinking in my head, like, I know, like, if I was a recruiter, I would never do somebody like yeah, y'all understand. Like, I was in the office, like, telling him, like, the reason why I would join, what I'm trying to do, and what I'm trying to better at. Like, I'm really, like, trying to, like, really join the Air Force. Like, this is what I wanted. Like, I know for sure I want to join the Air Force. I don't want to join another branch. And it's just like, I sat in the office for hours talking to him about it, and it's just like, he was on my side for it and all, but it's just like, for him to tell me that, like, on my phone, and, like, not even, like, I don't know, I feel like he really didn't have a reason behind what he did. I guess it was more of a personal thing, but it's like, this is a business. Like, you're trying to recruit people to join an organization, and it's like, you're not, like I said, I'm not bashing anyone. It happened, it did what it did, but it, like, really made me realize, like, like, don't stop. Like, don't let somebody, like, let a certain person, like, stop you from what you, and, like, just don't. So then I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I went at the moment, I was just like, okay, what I'm gonna do? I was like, the Navy's the only thing left. So I went back to Navy guy, and he's like, I told you not to fool with, he didn't tell him, like, I told you not to fool with Air Force, like, look what they're doing, and, try to put dirt in their name a little bit, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm still like, yeah, like, say what you want to say. I was like, I really still want to join the Air Force, but I'm like, but whatever, it is what it is. And then I'm just, like, talking to him, boom, boom, he sent me the maps, and I just for the vibe, so I went to maps, I got the Navy badge on this time. I'm just like, it's crazy, like, really, like, and, I see the Air Force. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And like I said, I'm not trying to persuade nobody to do anything. I went up maps. I'm doing the whole process. Like, I did my ears, all that, boom, boom, getting all that process done. And it's like, I'm at my final core, like, this is where, at the end, you kind of, like, around 12/1, you kind of, like, getting your contracts, doing all that stuff. And it's just like, I'm sitting there, whatever. So it's lunchtime, and I'm just looking at the Air Force people, like, with the badges. And they're just like, oh, they're just happy, they're jolly, And I'm just like, yeah, like, I wanted to join the Air Force. And they were just like, why didn't you join then? And I was just like, long story. And I kind of just talked to them. And it's like, well, if you need a recruiter, like, I have a recruiter. And then I'm just like, And I was like, here's my card. No, it's like, I'll text them or something. They said, I don't even know. I don't remember the conversation. I'm telling you, like, I'm in Navy. Got the Navy, like, sticker on. I'm just, like, talking to the Air Force, like, yeah, like, trying to make a plot. I'm plotting. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm plotting. I'm doing connections. Like, I'm like, who's your recruiter? Like, give me your numbers. Like, come on, like, because y'all look too happy. The Navy side, we're, like, a bunch of people that's, like, re-enlisted from Army. They didn't like the Army, so they went to Navy, like, and, like, so everybody getting a contract, and I'm just sitting there, and it's like 4 p.m., and it's like, yeah, you don't have a contract. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And it's like, yeah, just, do it next time. Come back next week. I was like, okay, cool. More of the story, okay, I didn't get a contract that day, so then they sent me maps again. This time, I didn't have to go through the physical part, because I passed all the physical part. I just had to get my contract. So then, push come shove, I'm just sitting there, and, like I said, I'm still looking at Air Force people, I'm like, that should be me. Like, I should be walking in the Air Force office, talking to them. And I was this close to actually getting up, like, can I join the Air Force, sir? Please, let me in. Because, I'm not, no offense to Navy, like, I really don't, like, I don't feel the energy. Like, I'm like a energy person. Like, I feed off, like, I wouldn't say feed off energy, but energy is, like, a big thing. So then I'm just like, okay, push comes to shove, move fast forward. It literally literally like they tell me I can't have a contract again. I don't have a well, they was like a Navy guy actually was coming back for her. He's like, we're trying to see where your contract is. I'm like, honestly, like, it was like so one guy who went with me, actually, he didn't pass the test. He was with the Navy, and he had stayed in the hotel, but he's going back on the bus. Well, actually, the recruiter's coming back to get him. And I was telling my recruiter, like, I don't want to be here. I took my sticker off. I signed out. I went downstairs. And, like, this is, when I'm doing all this, I went to Houston Maps. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I took my badge off. I'm like, I'm going with you. And the cowboy was like, yeah, the recruiter said you can come. So, like, literally, it's crazy. We both was walking down. We signed out. He told me the Navy recruiter said I can come and they're going to take me back home. I come down. I take my badge off. Come down the escalator with the guy who was leaving. And then he walked around the corner. And I was walking with him. And, like, literally, Air Force stopped me. And they was like, were you looking for a recruiter? They said something. Oh my gosh, I don't know what they did. And they handed me their card. And I was just like, okay, thank you, sir. And like literally, like in that 1 minute, 2 minute span time, like I literally was like, okay, thank you, sir. And I turn, I'm walking out, and then I look outside and it's like other people outside, and you know, I'm looking, I'm just like, where is he at? And then like they were like, I was like, did y'all see a guy in cowboy boots? And they was just like, yeah, he got in the car with a Navy guy. I was like, he left me? And so I'm like calling my recruiter. I'm like, you left? I said, I was coming. I was like, I'm literally on the steps. He's like, no, stay there. You're gonna get a contract. And I'm just like, sir, like, I want to go home. Like, I was like, you just, like, the dude in the boots just said that you said I can come. He's like, no, like, just stay there. I'm just like, what the heck? I was like, I already signed out. So, like, you know, they're mad, like, whatever. Like, the person over him, like, mad and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just want to go home. Like, I just got the recruiter's number. Like, I'm good. Like, this is my time to go. I was like, I've been here. You're telling me that I gotta stay again a night and do this all over again. I was like, if you didn't have a contract for the first 2 times, that's a sign. Like, that's a sign. Like, I literally didn't have a contract my time going there. And I was like, they can't find a job for me. They were trying to offer me engineering. I'm just like, I'm not gonna do engineering. I have friends in engineering. I'm not gonna do engineering. Like I said, I'm not trying to persuade or be a recruiter to nobody. Like, you do what you want to do, but that wasn't for me. So then, I just like, I call an Uber and Uber all the way back home, all the way back to College Station, an hour, 20 minutes, Uber all the way back home. I was like, yeah, if you can't take me home, I'm just gonna Uber up. So I'll Uber all the way back. They was mad, you know. I wouldn't say mad, but they were like upset. They was like, why'd you do that? This, that. I'm like, sir, I'm sorry, and due respect, like, I'm like, I don't feel it. Like y'all didn't have a job for me. I missed work. I did all this, like, and it's just like, it's not like y'all pushing it for me to really have a job. Cause like, you told me you had a job for me and I came up here and you're just like, you didn't have a job. I give that recruiter on the phone, the thing a call. And like, I'm just like, he was like, yeah, like, come. Like, he was in clean. Shout out to Sergeant Foster. Like, this is my guy. Like, shout out to him cause he did it quick. That's what I like. Quick. He was like, yeah, like, come to Colleen. And there's like an hour. It was 2 hours. Like, it was 2 hours to get there. I was like, yeah, I'll drive 2 hours to get there. Like, he's like, yeah, all you gotta do. I was like, you sure you're not making this up? Like, I ain't gotta waste no more time. Like, I can't waste no more time. He's like, yeah, just come to the office. We signed some papers. I'm like, okay, cool. So, like I said, the Navy's still hitting me up, but I'm on my way to Colleen. I think it was in Colleen. It's like the Highway Express, whatever. I literally talked to him. He's like, yeah, just do this. This is all you have to do. I was like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm just signing. I'm gladly signing all those pieces of paper. I'm like, yes. I'm like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? And he's just like, he's like, you don't have to go back to MEPS. He's like, you're gonna do a little sign in. We're gonna go to Colleen and you're gonna swear in. I was like, for real? Like, that's it? And he was like, yeah. I was like, bet. Boom, fast forward come. I'm just like, okay. I go to Colleen, I do the swearing. You know, I'm kind of scared a little bit, you know, because I'm in Colleen, I'm in Fort Hood. I'm like, sir, we gotta speed this up. So, you know, I do that, I do a little swearing. I'm just like, man, it's crazy, like, dang. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you your dates and this and this and that. And I'm just like, wow, like, that's crazy. Like it's the energy from him that it's like he wanted me to be a part of this, or he wanted me to be a part of the Air Force. And that's the energy that I feel like anybody who's trying to join, they need that energy. Like, they need that energy of, like, they want you there. You feel me? Like, no, you're not just, like, you know, somebody that's just like, oh, yeah, like, another person join. Like, you like, the energy, like, he gave me was, like, it's welcome. And I'm just, like, I appreciate him for that. For real. Because it's just, like, this is the kind of energy I want, really enlisted. Like, I'm enlisted. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's crazy. But, like, it's not, like, the real one, I guess. But it's, like, I'm there. And I actually swore in on my brother's birthday. October 15th, and I was like, that's crazy. I was like, wow. I'm like, I'm really in. And like, oh, and for the thing, y'all, my job is actually TMO. Like I said, I was persuading for that material management. I really was. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I was like, I want to be logistics, but like, I got my at the time, during the COVID, whatever, TMO, traffic management, that's my job. So far, y'all, I haven't first went to my first actually, like, to do it. Like, I just graduated, like I said with the last video, like, I graduated, I'm a weekend warrior. Like I said, the route of that, because he was reserve, he was a reserve recruiter, so, like, you know, I was anticipating on that because I'm like, I want to be active, you feel me? But, like, you know, I just need to get in. Like, I just want to serve, you know, Air Force. Like, that's it. Like, I was like, cool. Like, maybe down the line I can go active. I don't know. I was just like, I just want to get in. So, like, yeah. So I signed 6 years. TMO. I went to tech school. Tech school was in Fort Lee, Virginia. And you go for 44 academic days. And, like, it was a great experience. I'm really glad, like, you know, I didn't settle for what they were trying to give me, and I kind of feel like I pushed myself more, like, for myself, and, like, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna push myself for better. Like, I'm not gonna just settle for something just because somebody, you know, says, like, oh, this is this. Like, you know, you push for what you want, and it's just what I wanted. So I wanted to join the military regardless of if it was reserve or active. Like I said, I did want to be active, but, you know, it's cool. I'm grateful for it. Like, I'm in the military. I'm in the Air Force. Like, man, it's great. I love it. We like you here. We love it here. We finally found a home. What? A home. A home. A home away from home. Let me tell y'all, bro, when that song came on, that song didn't come on. When we said that little Jody, when we was marching, I was like, I know it's real. Like, I'm in the Air Force. I was so happy. Like, but, y'all, like I said, just don't settle for anything. If you want more, just, like, reach for it. Like, for real, like, no one gonna push you more than you push yourself. Like, shout out to Sergeant Foster, because he did, like, you know, he was quick with it, like, quick. And it's just like, you can find some people like that, and some people you can't. And it's just like I said, I actually appreciate the recruiters, every recruiter I ever talked to, because they really gave me they kind of gave me the answers to questions I didn't ask, but it gave me the knowledge of, like, okay, that's what I don't want to do, that's what I want to do, you know. And I shout out to them. I appreciate them that for, maybe that's not their meaning to do that, but, like, you know, I took it and, like, took it that way, put it in a positive way. So anybody who wants to join, if you have any questions, like, you know, I'll respond to anybody. Like, hit me up on social media, hit me up under here. You know, just everybody's journey is different. Don't just, you know, stop. You know, if you really want to join. Like, you know, if that test is really, like, taken for you, like, tell me. Like, I'm not smart, y'all. I hate to say it like that, but I'm not, like, the smartest. And then it's just like, you just have to strive for what you really want, like, for real. And it's just like, I really wanted to join the Air Force, and that's just like, that's what it is. You know, you feel me? Like, that's what it is. But if you got any questions or anything, like, you know, just hit me up. I don't really know too much about my job yet. Like, of course, I went to tech school, and, you know, you do that, and, like, it seems pretty, like, hands-on and, like, you know, but I'll learn more about that and really know my job more once I start actually, like, being there. I'm actually stationed in Dallas on a joint base, NAS joint base. It's a naval base, and it's in Fort Worth. So yeah, I go to my first actual thing August 7th and 8th. I'm really excited because I'm really excited what the future has for me, like the Air Force just in general, like, and I just really just wish the best for anybody that's joining and trying to maybe have the same similar story as me, you know, like not really too good with the recruiters or how, you know, and I just, you know, just hope that, you know, you push through it and don't really like settle and just really like, you know, what they say, aim high. Because if you join the Air Force, you aim high. Service before self, all that. Let me not do that. Let me do it. We're going to do it right. Let me put my core values. Integrity first, service for self, excellence in all we do. You feel me? Like, for real, like, top notch. Excellence in all we do. Don't settle. I'm trying to get this camera right. But yeah, like I said, like, y'all see this haircut? Oh, your girl is rich. Gotta get this side too, for me. But yeah, like, y'all, for real though. Like, don't be that. You know, you gotta get the eyebrows too. Anyways, I'll give y'all more update on the videos and more if you want to know more about stuff. Like, cause I'm an inside man now. Like, I ain't gotta like ask everybody. Like, I'm in. I can give you the questions. I can give you the answers now. And really just, you know, stay focused. Do what you're trying to do. Aim high. And what else was I gonna say? That's another thing. My memory just be everywhere. I'll give y'all more videos on like what to pack, you know, what to expect. Just more little stuff. Just let me know. Like, comment below. And for anybody that's here, if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment, subscribe, push the notifications, because your girl, we come with the videos. Like, I'm letting y'all know it, okay? Don't be afraid to hit me up. Like, I will respond, okay? And we'll be back with another video. Breezy Bree Gang, we out.